So today we're on our way to the STAC Virtual Wind Tunnel, which I've been excited about for a long time. For those of you who don't know, the STAC Virtual Wind Tunnel is basically like going to a wind tunnel, except you're not actually in a real wind tunnel. They essentially take a scan of your body while you're on the bike and everything that you'll be riding with, and they can come up with a number for what your drag is and your CDA, as I call it, coefficient of drag, and then they can simulate a bunch of position changes. You can change your helmet, wheels, whatever you want to change, and then they can determine what is the most aero, how many watts are you going to save. They can also do simulated changes of your position where it allows you to kind of test positions that you actually haven't tried yet, and they can tell you, well, it might be better to put your hands higher, lower, wider. So it's pretty exciting. Hoping I can save a few watts there and see if we can come up with some interesting information. So we're about to jump on the bike here. Andrew just informed me that the 3 helmets I brought I don't actually need because they can put them on me digitally, so that's even easier for me, because apparently it can be a little bit tough to scan them sometimes, so they've got them all in the program and he can just tell me which one's the best, so that makes life easy. Heading home now. It was pretty quick once we got there. We didn't even have to try the helmets out too much. He kind of had everything already. He could simulate it for me, so just pretty much scanned the position a couple times and got a little bit of information. And one really good tip I already got was that if I tip my helmet back a little bit more, it can sit kind of in this little, I guess, indent that forms in between my shoulder blades when I'm riding. So that's already something I can use. It'll probably help me out. I'm gonna wait probably a couple of weeks. They'll do all the calculations, figure out better positions, better helmets for me, and then we'll be able to see what we can do in terms of changing some other stuff around too. So I just got the results back from the STAC Virtual Wind Tunnel. Andrew ran all the scans and sent back some really useful information. So as you saw, went in, got the position scanned, and then they're able to simulate the rest of the changes for me. So the first change, or the first thing to determine, was which helmet is the best for me. He compared the Louis Garneau P9, which is my current helmet, to the Giro Arrowhead, and found that the P9 was about a 0.193 CDA and the Giro Arrowhead was 0.196. So the helmet I have is already faster. I think it was about a 30-second difference and a half. So that's awesome. Then from there, he used that base position with the P9 helmet and simulated 4 new positions. So the base position had a 0.193 CDA. The first new position was praying mantis with the hands higher, and that was a 0.190 CDA, which was a savings of about 40 seconds right there and a half, which is great. Potentially able to use that. Second position was praying mantis with head down as well, which was actually a little bit less aero than just the praying mantis position with head up, so won't use the head down aspect of that. The third new position was arms more narrow, so that actually came out with a 0.189 CDA, so that was the most aero position. It's roughly a 52-second savings and a half estimated. And then the last position was also 0.189, but a little bit higher, and it was about a 45-second savings for a half. So that was arms further forward 20 millimeters, so elbow pads just a bit more forward. So ideally, if you can combine all 3 of those changes, you would actually get more savings. But unfortunately, I can't really bring my arms more narrow because I need space for a bottle in there. But more importantly, I've tried it before and it's just not comfortable for me. Won't be able to sustain that position, so that change I'm not going to make. So that big savings is out the window, but I can actually do the praying mantis position. I have already made that change, put my new aero bar extensions on, brought my hands up significantly. So hopefully that's a little bit more aero. It also feels really comfortable. For whatever reason, it feels nicer on my hands and wrists to be in that position. So hopefully it's the best of both worlds. And then can't move my elbow pads more forward, but what I have noticed is being in that more praying mantis position, it just rotated my arm, and my elbow just kind of sits further forward on the pad now. So hopefully that also gets a little bit of that advantage as well. And I can kind of combine both of those and maybe get the CDA down just a little bit more. So really useful information there. It looks like I'll be able to save maybe close to a minute for a half with both of those changes combined. So that would be obviously huge for me. I'm definitely making some improvement, and I'm going to go back into STAC with the new position and just verify the changes, get a new scan to make sure that it is in fact better. And I know a lot of you probably know the little Aero battle I have with Cody going on. My CDA was actually quite a bit lower than his, so I definitely got the win on that one. I think he's still having a hard time coping with that, but hopefully he gets over it soon. And yeah, he's got a few more watts than me, so that definitely evens things up. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to use these changes. I highly recommend the STAC Wind Tunnel. Really, really useful. It looks like it might save me between 30 seconds and a minute and a half just by making a couple simple changes. So it could do even more for most people. So definitely get on that. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Who's really amazing for coming with you?
I don't have anyone with me. There's just like a robot that holds my camera for me.
Try again.
It's Montana. Really amazing for coming with me, and I'm already gonna buy her whatever she wants for dinner or dessert. So
more chocolate.
You want chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you already gone through what I'm talking about you yesterday?
No.
Oh.
I have to stock it up.
Okay. We'll buy more chocolate then.